1984. So it's youtube.com/nowhere-to-run1984. And look through the videos. You'll see the one. It's called "Come to Jesus" by Mindy Smith. It's a really killer song. It's a really good song. But yeah, I've been just a movie making madman the last few weeks, just one after the other. But just really feel like really getting after the New World Order. Been on fire, real productive with a lot of stuff that we've been doing. I'm really excited about a lot of that stuff.
Cool. Ziggy, anytime you come back, you can talk. You're still on. But I actually emailed this guy, and again, I'll show how much of a poser music-wise I am. But my favorite CD ever is it's called Three Sides to Every Story by this band Extreme, who most people would know is like the wussiest ballad ever of the 90s. That the song was called More Than Words. But I emailed the singer. The singer is he was in Van Halen for a while. His name is Gary Cherone. Most people hate him, but I just love the guy. He was like the first musician that I ever got to talk to, like someone that I really liked and got to actually meet and talk to and whatnot. And I emailed him and asked him if I could use one of his songs from another band that he was in for the theme to the new show. And he wrote me like right back. He's like, yeah, cool. So apparently he's going to checked out Salvation Revelation, and totally cool. He's like, if anybody gives you any problems, it'll come through me. I'll ask you to take it down, like if the record label gives me any problem about it. But it's like totally, I don't know, just really happy about that. I know it means nothing, but,
no, it's cool.
It's still like, wow, it's just so neat how things like that work. I mean, he's in many ways kind of like just a class act in the rock world, and he I think it was Eddie Vedder or someone a few years back wrote some big letter about abortion and how it's a woman's right, and he got involved in this like Rockers for Abortion thing, and Gary Cherone wrote like these letters back, and just really, I'm going to put all the links up to this stuff on wiseserpents.com as I find this stuff to post it out. But I was just really, really happy about it.
Hey, what's up?
Hello?
What's up? Can you hear? Yeah, we can hear you.
Man, my mixing board sucks. I don't know what happened.
Well, we hear you good now.
Well, that's good. At least you guys can hear me. I can hear you a little bit, but I'm not going to even touch none of these knobs. I'm just going to leave it just the way it is.
Yeah, it sounds great.
I was going to say, Chris, I heard the other day your podcast on sleep paralysis. Man,
yeah.
Oh, man. I almost didn't sleep that night when I heard it.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty interesting, man. All those testimonies and all that, it was just mind-blowing, all that stuff that goes on at night, and, and everybody, going through weird stuff, and other people, fighting it, mentioning the name of Jesus and rebuking all those entities or demons or spirits. That's just mind-boggling. That happened to me one time when I was younger, when I was like 18 or 19, and it's scary, dude. I mean, it only happened to me once. It never happened to me again, but it's a scary situation when you're feeling like that and you can't move, man. It's just scary.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And can you just imagine having to deal with that all the time and then getting worse and worse and worse? I mean, it's just, I feel so bad for some of these people. And to watch those movies, most of those people are just in complete denial about it. I mean, they're doing what they can, but most of them are just like saying, oh, it's nothing, I'm not scared of it,
There was one testimony, I had to repeat it like 5 times because I was just laughing. I mean, it's not a laughing matter, but it was just the way the guy said it was funny. There was one, he said that when he saw the thing was like on top of his bed, and he did like Dark City, he went ooh, and then
right.
he just fell asleep and just knocked out, and all of a sudden he woke up the next day and he was like, what the hell was that? Did I go to sleep on that?
Yeah, that guy's something else.
Yeah, that guy was funny, man.
his name is The Amazing Atheist. Actually, he's pretty big on YouTube. So, but that's still like kind of a buried video of his, like real down there. But most of his videos are about the wonders of atheism. So interesting. But yeah, man, it's something else. And then what, like I said in that video, that I came across those experiences and testimonies when I was doing preparation probably about a year, I don't remember, ago, for the interview with Joe Jordan. And it was right about that time I ran into a lot of things where it was just really like the power of Jesus and the name of Jesus, the presence, the idea, the authority of Jesus, and contrasting with the real dark side. And that whole thing, I think, is such a big faith builder for seasoned Christians and for brand new Christians, because it really encompasses the whole thing. It's all right there, and it shows you how real both the good and the bad is, and the reasons for both. It's a good way to tell the story of all the basics and the specifics.
Yeah, I agree. Wow.
So when you had yours, you say you were about 18 or something like that?
Yeah, it was, I think maybe a little. Yeah, I can't remember. It was just so long ago, but it was somewhere around maybe the teens or the 21, 22, probably maybe in the 21, 22, because I wasn't. I know I wasn't doing too good in church. Actually, I probably wasn't even going to church when it happened. I was living in the Bronx, and I was staying with my mom, and I know the life I was living was not pleasing to the Lord. I was, out there getting drunk and, smoozing with girls and you're just living crazy. And I went home and I went to sleep. And all of a sudden, I don't know what time it was because there was no clock around me. I just opened my eyes. It's like, I know it was the summer because it was hot. I had the window right behind me and it was open because it was just so hot. And I didn't have an AC in my room, so I had to leave the window open. And all of a sudden, I just opened my eyes in the middle of the night, and I just want to turn around, because I was on my back, and I wanted to move to the side, but I couldn't lift up. I couldn't lift my body, and I couldn't move my arm. I couldn't move my neck. All I could just look around. But I felt something like on my chest, like a big pressure, like if someone was sitting on me, or like a presence just on me, but didn't let me move, and it had me numb. And I was like, man, that's weird. I never felt this in my life, that I can't move my body, and I'm up. I'm not dreaming. But I didn't see anything, and all I could do is just, then I said, man, can I speak? And I said something, and I called out to my mom. I was like, Mom. And then she came, and she was like, what's wrong? It's like, Mom, I can't move. And she's like, what do you mean you can't move? It's like, Mommy, I can't move. I mean, I can't even move my shoulders. I'm trying to get up, and I can't.
That's weird, man.
She was like, come on, you dreaming? And I'm like, Mommy, I can't move. Do something. And she's like, she got next to me, and she's like, what's wrong? Did you break something? I was like, no, look, I just can't move my arm. I cannot move at all. I can't do anything. And, my mom being spiritual and all that, she was like, hold on, I'm going to get some oil, some olive oil or whatever she had specially prayed for, and she used it only, when she used to pray for people and stuff like that. So she went to the kitchen and grabbed some oil, and she started praying for me. She put some oil on my forehead. She put some oil she took my shirt off, and, well, I don't know if she took my shirt off. She just lifted up my shirt and kind of started rubbing it on my chest. And she started praying and rebuking the devil and calling out in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, and praying and praying. Then I started just praying because I'm like, man, this is now evil. This is like an evil entity on me or something, but I can't see it. And all of a sudden, she started praying and praying, and then she got up and she started pacing around the room. And I'm like, God, help me. What's going on in my life? Just forgive me my sins. Take this thing off of me or whatever it is that I can't move. And all of a sudden, I had like a glass door on to the side of my bed. Like something jumped out of me and went out through the window and shook the glass, and everything started shaking over there. And all of a sudden, dogs started barking on the street, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm
Dude.
like, they must have saw something, some something, and everybody was just like, the dogs are all freaking out, and they were barking, and then they quiet down, and then I could move, and I'm like, man, and me and my mom were looking at each other, and we're like, right away she told me, I know your life, the way you living it right now, is not right with God. You better get your life straight, because if these things are coming and they're trying to get to you and torment you, it's because your life is not right with God. Because when your life is right with God, this is her concept of it. She said God will protect you and take care of you, but I know that you're living a life that it's really, not walking right with the Lord, and you need to, strain that out. And I straightened out right away that day when that stuff got out of me or whatever. I realized that there's some things out there that sometimes you don't have control over. But one thing I realized that, God will, if you call upon God, God will protect you.
Dude, that is very, very, very cool. That experience really brings all of that home. I wish I could have that and put that at the end of the movie, because I still might, because it really during all those 50 some odd experiences, there wasn't anybody that had confirmed it with somebody else in the room. Most people could not get it out of their mouth to call for. A lot of them tried to call for their mom or whoever would be in the next room, there was also this idea that even if they did, were they, because most people are saying you're not really even awake or asleep, but that was total confirmation of the whole thing, that it was really happening and you were really awake, and that it was and the entity itself was real, and that it shook the window and the dogs barked and it came out through prayer. I mean, that's like all coming full circle, man. That's a really, really good testimony.
Yeah, that was real, man. I can't. I mean, even if I wanted to doubt that maybe it was something in my body physically that was kind of like whacked out, maybe my neurals were like disconnecting or whatever. Once that window started shaking, them dogs started freaking out. That's when I said, like, damn. And you could feel like the wind, like something just flew out of the room. And I knew it was an evil presence, an entity, a demon or whatever. And the fact that my mom, I don't know if she noticed it, but I heard it. And she saw that I couldn't move, and that, she was praying, and she recognized that it was something evil in the house or in the room or on me or whatever, the hag or whatever they call them things. It was something real, man. It was this never happened to me. And when I heard your podcast, man, I was like, man, should I leave a light on or something? Just that stuff to come over here again.
That's great, and especially for your mom to recognize that and have the discernment, even when she didn't have, according to that testimony, I mean, right at the beginning, she didn't have that much information to go on to think it was evil, but to just have the discernment and probably the feeling of, of something like that in the room leaves a definite impression in the air.
Hey, we got a call. Still a man's calling back. He wants to talk about this.
Yeah, hang around, Ziggy.
Are you there?
Hey, guys.
No,
I was just listening to Ziggy's experience there, and it kind of just gave me goosebumps, because that same thing happened to my brother and I. This type of thing happens to my brother quite a bit, and when it first started happening to him, I didn't really believe him because I didn't understand it. But when we went back home for one Christmas like 3 years ago, I shared a room with him when this actually happened, and I'm sleeping, and I hear this commotion going on in the room, and I wake up, and he's like looking freaked out, and I'm like, is it happening right now? And he's like, yeah. And so I get out of my bed, and I go over to his bed, and I just lay next to him. Actually, we lay head to foot, and we turn the lights on and everything, and I'm like, all right, man, just relax, calm down. And I try to go to sleep, and I feel something grab me on my shoulders, and it made this whooshing sound, and I couldn't move what seemed like forever, and I started freaking out. And I was like, oh my, I couldn't believe it was happening, right? And he sat up and I sat up, and I just could not believe what was going on, because I never really believed him when he explained these things to me. But man, let me tell you, we started praying, and we prayed and we prayed, and just like what he said, the windows started shaking, and we could feel the atmosphere in the room completely change. And outside, the dogs started barking